The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car. Professional auto repair and maintenance from ASC certified mechanics and master mechanics. Check them out online at autorepairsmyrna.com. I'm Danny Brewer. We're back on the Coaches Show. Now I am very pleased to be joined by Siegel head football coach Adam Renshaw. Coach, how are we this morning?
Great. Good day to be up and going to work.
There you go. That's right, Coach. So, the thing about it is, this time of year, it's 7 days a week. Or it may be not that way a lot of times, but this time you're 7 days a week.
Yeah. I don't know. When I was younger, I thought I would work just to find things to do. And now it seems like I hadn't got enough time to get it all done. And so, yeah, it can really turn into a grind. I try to personally work up until noon on Saturday, and then take some time, be with my family, go to church Sunday morning, and then we come in after church on Sunday and work till we get it done.
Well, I think that, in reality, and this holds true, and I think any profession, your downtime can be almost as important as your uptime.
Yeah, and I think that's true for the kids too. I think early in my career, I was a grinder on the kids also, and I think kids need rest. They need to be kids. They need to be able to do their schoolwork, and they need good nutrition and plenty of sleep. And I think those things are as important as football practice.
Well, that was just what I was just going to say, Coach. Kids need time to be kids, and maybe we lose sight of that sometimes.
Yeah, and the whole reason we do this is we're education-based athletics. We're supposed to be supporting these young men, helping them grow into adults, and we try to take that seriously at Siegel High School.
Education-based athletics. I love that, Coach. Because that, in reality, that's what it's supposed to be, And I think that sometimes this can get lost in the shuffle. It's high school football, it's college football, and high school has to come first. And like you said, without the grades, that's why you're there.
Exactly, and that's not to take any importance off what we do on Friday nights. Football is extremely important. We just want to make sure kids know it's not the most important thing.
Well, and in reality, it's a training ground for life, correct?
That's really what we're trying to do. We've had some adversity Thursday, and we got a football team right now that needs to get over that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what happened Thursday. I know you played a very good Shelbyville team in the season opener. Tell me a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, well, I think it was a very simple fundamental of football. We didn't block, and they did. And we can dramatize that in a lot of different ways. But, and I'm not just talking about front play. I'm talking about on the edges and the receivers. And, we can definitely do things to play faster at quarterback and running back. And defensively, I think we got new linebackers. And so we got to catch up to the speed of the game a little bit.
When we talk about the basics of football, that's really what most games boil down to, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And I think a lot of people talk, turnovers are obviously very important. But if you look at Friday night's game, we won the special teams game. They had two bad punts, gave us short field position. We scored on those. They had a turnover. But the difference in the game really was blocking and somewhat tackling. They have a really good back. I thought our kids ran to the ball, gang tackled really well. It really was just block destruction, as we like to call it. I think that's an underrated skill in football. Your defense, every play is designed to block most defenders. And so your defenders have to be able to defeat that block, get off that block, and make the tackle.
Exactly right, Coach. So let's talk a little bit about your offensive structure first. I know you had some kids who did some pretty good things. Drew Hostetler, I think he had a good night as far as receiving and all that kind of stuff, and maybe had a good return as well.
Yeah, Drew had a really good night. Caught a couple of passes, one for a touchdown, caught a big pass over the top. Probably, honestly, wanted to get the ball to him more and need to work on that, on some easier ways to get the ball to him, I think. But I thought he had a good night. A kid that plays his position also, Jaden Willis, ran a really good route, caught a pass, and did exactly like we do in practice. He dropped step, scored a touchdown, and both those kids I thought played exceptionally well.
One of the big questions coming into this year for Siegel football was quarterback. You had a really, really good quarterback last year in Santel before he got hurt. But to talk about Tristan Thornton, I think he stepped in Thursday night as a starter. Tell me a little bit about him.
Yeah, I thought, as the game went on, he got better. We talk a lot with our football team about the offense kind of being a car, and we're constantly working on the car, trying to get the car to run better. And, we toss the quarterback the keys on Friday night, and they go to drive it. And so, I thought he did a pretty good job. I thought as the game went on, he got he got better. And, some things on film we definitely need to get together and work on, though. But, he has a ton of potential.
What class is he?
He's a junior.
He's a junior. Well, that may be the best thing about him, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when you think about offensively speaking, running the football, tell me about the running game.
Yeah. We were, initially our initial blocks up front were very physical. Our offensive line didn't shy away from the physicality of the game. We just struggled to get up the linebackers. We struggled to get the edge players blocked. And those guys made a ton of plays against us Friday night. And so we got to take care of that. And we feel like we've got two really good varsity backs right now, and maybe more on our football team. But Braylon Albia and Corey Jennifer, we feel like if we give them a crease, give them a lane, they can do something with it. And so I just think we got to work on getting those periphery players. It's not necessarily defensive linemen. It's the whole timing of working those double teams and getting to those backers. And our edge guys have to do a much better job blocking the secondary and blocking those hole players, those outside linebackers, strong safety type players. To me, that's where we've got to get a lot better.
Is a good blocking receiver underrated, you think? I mean, is that one of those things that
Yeah, we tell our receivers, if you don't block, you don't play. That is the foundation of, I believe, the spread offense. And so I think, so much has to occur on the edge that, it's not like the I formation days where you just put those guys out there and they run routes all practice. The slot receivers, the outside receivers, they have significant blocking duties in not just our scheme. I'd say almost every scheme. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs, how they play football. If those receivers aren't willing to block, they're not going to get a contract.
Exactly right, Coach. And I think that maybe that's one of those skills that do you think that in today's society, kids maybe underrate that skill a little bit?
Maybe a little bit, but if you, I don't know, I can speak as to our kids. I think our kids want to block. I think they see that as as a team skill. We tell our kids that if you don't block, you don't play, and we say even the quarterback at some point is going to have to block on the reverse. So it's again. Probably every coach that's come in here this morning has talked about the fundamentals and how they have to get better at them, and blocking's always the first one mentioned. And so we're young in spots, we're talented. We just got to do those two things: block better and get off the blocks.
Week one can be a challenge because you don't know what's going to happen. And that's true with every team out there. You can have your scrimmages, you can have your works, but you still, when it comes time and you're under the lights, what's going to happen? Were you relatively pleased with a lot of the things that happened?
Yeah, I was really pleased with our special teams. Coach Rick Mallory coaches our special teams. I thought they were extremely well prepared and did a good job. Both our kickers, AB and Harry, they both did a great job putting the ball where it needed to be. And a few mistakes in the kicking game, but I felt like we won that third crucial area of the football game. And so that was a place we can build on. I think we got to move the ball better and stop them better.
As we move into week 2 at Laverne, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we go over there to Laverne. Last time we were over there, we were in a dogfight. We expect to be in a dogfight again. Seen a little bit of film on them this morning. Extremely athletic, and Coach Woodward a great man, does a great job. And so, yeah, they'll be ready. They'll be ready to play us. And last year, we just had a good night. It was really weird. But I really expect those guys, they're going to be gunning for us Friday.
I think that they are a little bit different offensively, maybe trying to do some triple option stuff. What kind of challenges does that present to you defensively?
Yeah, well, it's always an issue up front defensively. And so, I would say the biggest deal is we got to get our fits right with our linebackers and make sure, because, when teams are running midline and when teams are running maybe some belly kind of stuff, they're just looking to take advantage of the angles up front and maybe a linebacker taking a bad angle. And, they're more than happy with 5 yards. That's a big play, keeps them on the field. And again, first down's a big deal for us. This past Friday night, I really feel like that's where we lost the football game. We were not getting anything on first down and having to call plays on second and third down to try and make up for that. And then their offense, on first down, they were getting 5 yards. And, there's not a play on the play call sheet. You can't call it 2nd and 5. And so first down, we have to be a lot better. And so with Laverne, that's going to be a major issue because they're going to be able to line up and run a belly or run a midline and just try to get that 4 or 5 yards that keeps their offense, as you say, matriculating down the field.
As you move from week 1 to week 2, what's the biggest thing you hope to see from your team?
Well, I want us to play faster. And I'm not talking about in terms of tempo. I'm talking about in terms of snap the ball, get off the ball, and get after the other team. And so, to me, that's the area that I feel like we needed the most improvement on Friday night. Felt like it had a lot to do with why we weren't blocking people. And so maybe more intentionality when the ball snapped. And I think a lot of that falls on me also to make sure that our kids are confident coming off the ball. And so that's where we need to be this week. And we got a lot of work to do in that area, I think.
Well, Coach, one thing I'm confident in is that you're doing a great job over there at Siegel. I encourage everyone, if you want to see some good football, you get over to Siegel. Got a wonderful facility. That turf field looks fantastic. Coach Adam Renshaw, Siegel High School, you're doing a great job. We appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The Coaching Show is brought to you by the law offices of John Day. They've helped thousands of people get the legal help they need when they've needed it the most. If you've been injured, call the law offices of John Day.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of